Okay guys, for those of you that need a break from the Chase Sapphire hysteria, I wanted to touch base with you concerning the Capital One Venture X devaluation. If you're like me, most of the time when changes come out, you do have a tendency to maybe overreact or maybe see things in a negative light. And if you don't know what I'm talking about, you've probably been living under a rock. Capital One just nerfed the lounge access for the Venture X users and their authorized users. Basically, it left the authorized users out in the cold, and it really deletes the card's long-standing superpower. So in this video, I'm not interested in debating whether it was the right move or whether the nerf will actually solve the overcrowded lounge problem. By the way, I don't think it will affect the crowds at all, and you'll see why when I tell you my new Capital One Venture X strategy moving forward. So in this video, I'll go over what I'm going to do to mitigate the damage from this pretty drastic move, and I'll explain in detail why I'm making this move. Stay until the end to hear my long-term opinion of the Capital One and the Venture X. But first, if you are new here, I talk about credit cards, points, miles, cash back, and travel. If you're interested in that sort of thing, consider becoming a subscriber. And if you get any value at all from what I have to say today, slap that like button for me so I can get this video in front of a few more eyeballs. And with all that out of the way, let's get into it. So a very short background of myself and this card. I travel solo, family, and as a couple, and I highly value lounge access during my domestic connections. I'm also a huge fan of the Capital One Venture X card, and it's been in my wallet for a while now, and well, it stays there. It's also part of my long-term endgame strategy. So I do have an incentive to make this work. So yes, I am biased. Okay, so now we understand where I'm coming from. I totally agree that these lounge access changes, they seem devastating on the surface, but after further review, I don't visit Capital One lounges all that often, once a year, twice, and I have several priority passes, so I don't really care about that part. So what am I gonna do moving forward through this massive nerf? Well, for me, it's easy. My player 2 is going to get her own Capital One Venture X card. This shouldn't be a shock, so let me explain why this makes sense for me. First off, let's address family travel as it pertains to the Capital One Lounge. If we are all traveling and we have 2 Venture X cards, then I will gladly pay $25 to get Carlos into the lounge. This is an easy decision and I won't even complain about it. When it's just me and the wife traveling, well, we'll both have cards, we'll both have access. And obviously, if I'm on a solo trip, then we're just business as usual. What about the costs of an additional travel card in the family? Well, this is where it gets personal and where I think my situation makes this an easy decision. Like I said earlier, my wife is in the player 2 position and her credit card setup is really conservative. I don't like for her to carry annual fee cards or cards with credits because I'm not interested in maintaining them. However, my wife definitely travels. She travels just like I do. She takes at least one annual solo trip every year, and sometimes she'll take Carlos to Universal or stuff like that. So she's not much different than me, and as of the time of this recording, the Venture X is 100% the easiest premium travel card to maintain. So why is this the perfect way to handle this situation? Well, let's see what this card would mean for my wife, my player 2. First off, let's address the annual fee. $395 is nothing to sneeze at, but my wife's a realtor. She makes her own money. She can definitely afford the fee, no problem, especially if it's her only annual fee card. The card comes with a yearly and easy to use $300 travel coupon within the Capital One portal. My wife might only take one solo trip a year, so she can easily use this for her flights or her lodging. Not much to think about and not much risk in that ever going to waste. Will she mind using the portal? No, it's pretty easy. The card comes with 10,000 bonus venture miles yearly after the first year. At the very least, she can use this with the travel eraser option and get 1 cent per point or $100 out of that. So even for someone who is not willing to become a points and miles nerd like us, this card's pretty easy to justify. Now, we can all agree that this card is very close to being what I call annual fee net neutral. So let's just talk about what she gets as her own independent benefits package. My wife, unlike me, she is going to rent cars. The Venture X will provide her with that primary rental car insurance. It's great for her not to worry about that. The card comes with its own TSA/global entry credit. That's great. She needs that. That might eventually save me some money. The card comes with amazing Visa Infinite protections for everything. And hey, guess what? It's still an amazing catch-all card, earning double miles and all those great purchase protections. Now, here are some things I can add to the list of positives. Now I don't need her as an authorized user for my Chase Sapphire Reserve. So that might save me some money with all those fees going up. Carrying the Venture X, she'll have enough lounge access for those somewhat rare solo trips. I'm hoping she can try to take advantage of some of these Capital One offers to earn a ton more Venture miles on her personal spending. And in a perfect world, she could take advantage of Capital One's generous referral program. She does have a lot of friends that would really love to learn how to travel with credit cards, and the Venture X is a pretty easy recommendation. But hey, let's not forget about the 75,000 mile welcome offer. That doesn't hurt, does it? This could actually be a great platform for her to really establish her own points and miles strategies because, well, she likes to travel more than I do. She already holds the Chase trifecta and an ink card, so this would give her a great Chase/Capital One combo. Does that sound familiar? So what do you guys think? With the acquisition of Discover, we definitely have some changes coming, but your Uncle Luke is very optimistic with Capital One, and I think this is a great overall way to deal with the admittedly huge nerf. And if she needs help with how to use her Venture miles, well, I know a guy that can help. Guys, if you want to support the channel or you want more content, you can become an elite channel member for only $2.99 a month. Cancel anytime. I'm doing members only videos on most weekends. You can even join, binge the videos, and then cancel. I don't mind. I'll leave a link in the description to join, as well as some credit card links, like the one for the Venture X. And guys, as always, if you have stayed all the way to the end, I appreciate you, and I want to thank every single one of you.